For over 40 years, the riding of St-Michel has been Montreal's dumping ground, as many residents call it, for garbage being brought in from the majority of the households on the island. More than 100 million tons of household waste was dumped onto the Miron quarry, according to the statistics gathered by the local eco-quartier. Millions of trucks circulated in and out of the residential neighborhood. The residents accepted all of this because they believed that they were doing their part alongside the rest of Montrealers. With the help of the local activist groups, the quarry was closed and projects to rejuvenate and use the site as an urban green space were put into action. However, the city developed a project that announced 4 new plants on the island, which would process organic waste generated by Montrealers. St-Michel were revolted by the idea, since the benefits of all the efforts they had put into the rejuvenation of the site were being put to waste. For one, the Tohu had established, and so was the Cirque du Soleil headquarters in the neighborhood, and now the city was planning on building this plant only 2 steps away from the old quarry within the next 4 years. The consultation publique reassured that the necessary measures would be implemented in order to respect the strict conditions about their concerns of odors and noise. However, with the history between the riding and the city, the residents knew they were in for a long fight if they really wanted to be heard. This is not an issue of not in my backyard. The problem is that our backyard is already full. The city insists that the task of assuming the responsibility should be divided equally, but residents also question social equality. Where did the contribution of 40 years and counting play into the selection process? As you are listening to this, you might be asking yourself, well, composting is a good idea, but how much do we really know about composting on an industrial level? Compost is a natural fertilizer of the soil in which we grow various plants and trees. The process increases the microorganisms found naturally in the ground. It is all natural and gives a second life to the organic waste most of us throw away in the garbage.
Ça nous permet de réduire le volume de déchets au départ. Au lieu de sortir un exemple, quelqu'un fait du recyclage, quelqu'un fait du compost à la maison, à moins de poubelles. Parce que l'objectif principal, c'est de détourner moins de déchets vers les sites d'enfouissement. Plus de déchets.
No matter where you live, whether in an apartment building or in the country, surrounded with green space, everyone can reduce the size of his or her garbage bag. With the help of the scraps gathered from the kitchen, the garden, and the house, you can follow simple steps in order to ensure that those natural materials return to their source. And in the process, you can benefit from rich and nutritious compost. For those living in the city, it is preferable to stick to organic matters in order to keep little animals like squirrels or raccoons and the smell away. For those who have access to a larger space, everything from the kitchen can be included into your composting bin. So no matter where you live, there is a perfectly adaptable composting alternative for you. But no need to fear the smell. The special material made from recycled products allows the air to circulate evenly. Whether on your balcony or in your kitchen or even in your yard, all you need is a meter square of space, and then the possibilities are endless.
Verifying the state of the mixture and either adding water if too dry to the soil or too moist, the compost will remain healthy. By simply observing the compost, the adjustments will be easy to address. If any concerns arise, your local eco-quartier is a good resource for guidance and advice. The issue of the Miron quarry is not about the idea of improving Montreal's footprint and encouraging composting. It is much more than that. Les Michellois did and are continuing to do their part in order to achieve the goal of increasing composting. With the various composting bins around the riding, St-Michel residents are reducing the amount of garbage they produce on a daily basis. The composting is organized by the residents and supervised by the ecoquartier in order to ensure proper levels of moisture and organic waste. This seems to be the better alternative since it has shown itself to be a growing movement thanks to its success. Composting on an industrial level is not beneficial in a residential area since it increases the number of trucks circulating within the various neighborhoods. It would also release odors, especially in the summer with the warmer weather, and the noise level would also increase. There is no valid reason for building a composting plant in a residential area. An industrial zone would be a better fit. As a team, we do support the efforts of a greener island. However, we do not agree with the chosen composting site in Saint-Michel. As a neighborhood, it has done enough, and this project would not be beneficial to the residents. It would backtrack all the past efforts to bring back this neighborhood to its one beautiful state.